Welcome to our show. This is Vintage Breaks, and we open up old packs of cards live on camera on YouTube for people to either just watch. Some folks buy in and buy spots to participate so they can have cards sent to them. But candidly, it allows me to pursue a childhood dream, and I wasn't good enough for the Yankees, and I'd say I wasn't tall enough for the NBA, but look who I'm talking to, right? So thank you, Spud, for coming down today. For those that don't know, we are here with basketball icon and legend Spud Webb. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. I have so many questions because I'm a basketball, forget about card collector, I'm a basketball nerd. Okay, so I grew up in the 80s when, at least from my hometown, the NBA that was on TV consisted of the Lakers, the Celtics, and because where I grew up in New York, the Knicks.
Right.
And I didn't want to agree with my dad on everything. He liked the Knicks, and so I ended up gravitating towards the Celtics. I really liked the way they passed the ball between Bird, McCall, and Parrish. However, I was always a fan of yours growing up, and I don't know a single kid or even adult that doesn't like you or is not a fan of you because you're inspirational just sheerly by not being that tall, and making it. And you didn't just make it. I was looking up and doing research on you. You hung around the NBA for a long time. Forget about winning the NBA slam dunk contest, which I want to talk about. But there was a year, I think, for Sacramento, you averaged like 15 or 16 a game.
Yeah, most people just recognize you from the dunk contest, but once I get there, I have to get my own stats out of, I played 12 years and shot 90% from the free throw line one year, played 800 games and all that stuff. So, but Doc Rivers told me that I'd never live down winning the dunk contest, but it really hurts you in your career because nobody recognized you as a basketball player, and I played 12 years.
Sure, they kind of remember that single moment.
Yeah.
Well, take us if you can, and if it's possible, because I realize it's really loud in here, if you don't mind, try to speak up a little bit, and if not, totally cool, because I realize it's a little crazy. But purely so my son Crosby's 7, and there's a lot of kids here at the show that are between 7 and 17. I want to hear from someone who was probably told for a lot of their young childhood and then ultimately growing up, hey, you're not good enough, you're not tall enough. How did you deal with that mentally, and then physically, what did you do to try to make up for the fact that you had a lot of folks you were competing against that were taller?
Well, basically, you can't listen to them, first of all.
Excuse me.
Because if you do that, then you're defeating the purpose of what you want to accomplish. So,
sure.
What I did was watch a lot of guys play. I watched Dr. J play, try to go out and play like him, but you can't. So you try to figure out the game of just learning to shoot, play, and playing against guys that are bigger, better, and stuff like that. Then you finally get to play, and then they tell you you're too short, can't play, or probably too slow. And then when they start the games, you go out and you have to produce, and that's what I lived on. That once the game started, all the stats, the height, the weight, with accomplishments of what people have done go out the window because nobody can protect you out there but you. So that's why I look at myself as equal. I don't ever look at myself as a disadvantage. So I always try to look at one step ahead and try to go out and work on my game where I think I think is my weakness to get better. And I think that's just why I lasted 12 years in the NBA.
So really, amongst anything, it sounds like mentality was almost number one for you. Not letting people get into your head. Forget about trash talking. We're simply just saying you don't belong because you're not tall enough, you're not fast enough, you're not quick enough, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, definitely. You had to have like a cornerback, a mental block to block that out. I never played but 1 year high school basketball because the people say you're probably too short, couldn't play.
Sure.
And then it's nobody playing Division I my size, so to go to NC State and play 2 years in the best conference at that time you could ever find, and then going NBA wasn't a guy, run up and down the court like me and Muggsy did, so they didn't know what to do with it. So to make those odds is something that I can't see nobody do, because you didn't have YouTube, you didn't have the Select, AAU, you had none of that to send out tape, so whenever you got the opportunity, you had to produce.
If we could switch directions, because I'm sure myself included, growing up in the 80s and 90s as an NBA fan, I looked at the years that you played, I watched them, and I know from being on Atlanta, you played against the Bulls and Michael Jordan several times. And I think whether it be it's The Last Dance or any of the other snippets through the years we've seen on ESPN, a lot of people look at Michael Jordan almost as this like untouchable rock star. And for me, I just want to hear from someone who competed against him on the court, like a nugget, whatever the case may be. He was a great trash talker, or one day he picked up, someone who fell over and, gave him gumdrops. I'm making it up, of course, but like for me, this is like what I really wanted to know is, do you have something you can share with us against Michael about playing against him, about his mentality, anything?
You don't give out a lot of tickets when he comes to town. But no, you enjoy playing against the best, and at that time, still the best ever for me. You wanted to play good against guys like that. When I first came in, it was Magic Johnson. I wanted to play good against the Lakers. Then Isaiah, you watched him and you wanted to play against the best. So and then Michael came along. You wanted to play Bird. All those guys. You want to always play good against those guys because you want the respect. And every chance I got, I tried to give it to them where they wasn't used to like a quick guy. Guy getting up and down the floor real quick.
Might even be faster than them, actually, yeah.
So that's some of the things that you just want to play against the best. Now, Michael, you have to be extra careful because you might get dunked on or scored 63 points on, and you're doubling him and fouling him. So, he's an incredible athlete. I try to tell guys what separates a star from a superstar is killer instinct. Because every guy has some kind of talent.
Sure.
But if they don't have that killer instincts like Magic, Bird, and Michael, and Isaiah Thomas, and those guys, man, they not only tried to beat you, they tried to make you not get no sleep that night.
Where do you think the killer instinct comes from for guys like that?
I think it's where they grew up, competing. They always want to be the best. They never want to lose, that type of stuff. We played a lot of pickup games coming up, and I'm pretty sure they did too. So if you lost, you never got back up. So
and you couldn't play again, and that was very frustrating. Yeah. So
I think a lot of guys learn that killer instinct from that because you don't want to lose, so you won't get back up and play the rest of the day.
Absolutely. I know you only have a few minutes with us, and we do, of course, appreciate your time. We're very grateful. But one of the last things I wanted to ask you about was the 1986 Slam Dunk Contest, how it came to be, and anything that you can remember other than what we can read on Google. Because, of course, for those that don't know that are watching us here on Vintage Breaks, Spud won in almost heroic fashion the 1986 NBA Slam Dunk Contest. So please tell us anything that you'd like to share about it.
Well, I was a rookie, so it wasn't one of those deals where like the guys now, they sit around and watch YouTube or TikTok and see people dunk.
And like you're trying to, replicate that dunk.
You try to go out and practice that dunk to bring it out.
Sure.
We didn't have that to look at, and then when I was a rookie, I was still trying to stay on the team, so it wasn't no stay out to practice and work on dunks. It was stay out to practice and work on, getting over pick and rolls, chasing people off screens, stuff like that, and free throws. So the dunk contest is something that, I had doing those dunks for about 5 years. So I just did them as they came to my head. I was just hoping Dominique ran out of dunks, but that's just some things that just come to your mind and you go out and just do it. I mean, it's hard to explain because when you're in that situation, just the competitiveness kick in. I'm like, okay, you can do that. I said, I can't save anymore, so you just try to go out and do your best.
That's great. Now, out of curiosity, because you said you were a rookie, how did you get selected for the Slam Dunk Contest?
Yeah, that's a funny deal there. Stan Caston, which was the general manager of Braves at the same time. I think he with the Dodgers now. He came to me like 4 days before the dunk contest and asked me, told me I was going to be in it. And I was like, I'm going home to be with my family. It's the All-Star break. He's like, no, you're going to the dunk contest. So that's how I ended up getting in the dunk contest, because if you're at my age, when you made it when you go on Johnny Carson. Because it wasn't no other talk shows. So I did Johnny Carson Friday night and then did the dunk contest Saturday night, because that's what I was planning on doing that before the dunk. I was invited to the dunk contest.
That is unbelievable. So you're hobnobbing with Johnny Carson. You're going to be in the slam dunk contest. I wanted to give this to you. We're going to ask you to sign a couple cards. If you'd like to open it now, great. If you want to bring it with you. But this is from the 1988-89 season. So we could potentially get your card. We might get Michael. We might get Larry. And I'm hoping, just hoping, there might be a guy like, wow, late. I haven't talked to him since we went out to that club till 4 in the morning, and I now have his card.
Well, Mitch Richardson.
Hall of Fame rookie.
I played with Mitch for 4 years in Sacramento, put him in the All-Star game 4 years in a row.
Look at that, Mitch Richmond rookie, played with Spud.
Joe Dumars, we got drafted together. They had the same agent.
Drafted with Spud,
Brad,
Joe Dumars, and Hall of
Brad,
Famer.
Played with Craig. Sam, a good friend, Sam Perkins. Didn't play with Carzine. Greg, a good friend.
Ooh, DJ. I was a big fan of DJ growing up.
I always tell him I'm going to steal your ball. Nate, I played backcourt at Nate at NC State. And then my good buddy John Concack, we played together 6 years in Atlanta.
I love how you just like rattle this off. Like that's amazing. Well, we of course appreciate your time. We're going to take out just a few of, and I'm sure you recognize this card. We have a few cards for you to sign for us. We really appreciate it. And if we may ask, Spud, where are you flying back to? Home today?
I'm from Dallas, so flying back.
You're getting to go home today?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you still, to this day, enjoy signing autographs?
Yeah, I go. I'm the president of the Mavericks G League team, Texas Legends. So
I was reading about that online.
So I'm with every game, and if it's 3,000 kids there, 3,000 people, 1,500 kids. So I'm signing every day at the game. So
so it's something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly comes across. It comes across on camera. We really appreciate you joining us here today at Vintage Breaks.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.